It's finally here. Chop Goblins. Oh, by the way, I lied about the whole Dusk 2 thing. The fuck you. So Chop Goblins is a short micro shooter made by David Dusk Dev, where you travel through time running and gunning down enemies who are attempting to gather allies and artifacts from throughout the ages so that they may dominate the future, leaving it as a grimy sci-fi dystopia where they are the sole power. So basically it's a ripoff of Daikatana. What can I say, David? I'd prepare yourself, because John Romero's about to make you his bitch in the court of law. No, but really, it's a fun little romp throughout time that starts after you break into a museum to rob it or something, I don't know. But then you accidentally unleash the dreaded Chop Goblins, some cheese-loving stank monsters who've been locked away for a gruntillion years. The Chop Goblins come in a few forms, such as normal, they just sort of walk up and smack you. Green, they take an extra hit and throw their knives at you. Green, but on a witch's broom, aka the worst thing ever. Grandma, I don't know if that's its real name, but it looks like an old lady, and attacks you by insulting you. This thing, it's funny looking. The big chopper, the big bad around here, with a funny little walk animation that makes me do a little chuckle when I see it. Future Gobbo, it's the green one but future, and Dracula. He is the only boss? Maybe? Let's go with yes. Now, because this is a tiny little boomer shooter, it doesn't have a massive arsenal, but the few weapons it does have are pretty good. You got the old knife that you can use at any time while shooting. I mean, I guess you could use it if you run out of all of your ammo, but I don't know, that probably only happens if you go goblin mode. Other than your trusty knife, you got a flintlock pistol. And for a game that the creator was downplaying a bit on Twitter, it's great. It's punchy and satisfying in other game reviewer terms. Unlike in real life, it's also your precision weapon, and is basically your only hope against the fucking green goblin witches. Then you got your shotgun, very good, very good. Then you got your automatic wood stake launcher, you know, to fight Dracula with. But it's also very good against the big choppers. But most importantly, the big stick that just throws lightning, my god. You get it right before the last level, and Jesus, if we ever get Dusk 2, this better be in it. Never before has goblin killing been so fun. Now, outside of the fun gameplay and online scoreboard, there's the art style, which is in line with the whole PS1 look and all that, and you could make the argument that so was Dusk, but this leans into it far more with a whole-ass VHS setting. You know, this VHS shit is in every single one of these PS1-esque style games, some to its detriment, but, you know, not this one. But who the hell was recording their gameplay onto VHS tapes? Just kind of wondering, because usually it feels like excessively, whoa, look, it's the old! But that's just a trope with this whole ass game movement, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, back to the art style. I think the lighting and design of the levels, especially the final levels, are really nice. I know that's kind of vague, but it's similar to Doom 64 in a way with its lighting. Like, why do all of these different rooms, even if they're right next to each other, have such harsh and contrasting lights? I don't know, but it's pretty and it's cool looking, so who cares? I especially like how the Greek level looks. Multiple times I just stopped to look around and take in all there is to see. Its glowing blue water and sun shining through the low poly buildings is just really striking. In fact, there's an entire setting for that, just called sightseeing, where you just wander around the empty levels and take in all there is to see. It, of course, gives off that playing Gmod alone feeling sometimes, but I mean, knowing the player base of these kind of games, that's probably a selling point. In fact, let me play some examples right now. Anyway, this is a short vid for a short game, you should buy Chop Goblins. It's probably the most fun you can have for 30 minutes for $5.